and I just figured that we should start Android development with Kotlin and learn the basics of it on the way. So let's get started with creating a counting application in Kotlin. So guys, the link to the problem of Android developers using Mac M1 is solved in the description. You can just select that link below and download the DMG file for Android emulator for M1 chip. Then you can go to the applications folder and open it from there, or else it would give you an error that the developer is not recognized or verified. And link to download Android Studio is also in the description, and over here you can download the DMG file. So very amazing guys. Now let's just go right into the preview. So let me run the preview right now. Okay, over here is our emulator. After downloading, this is how it would look. It's done. So right now this is the name Countero. Okay, we can add. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Then I can subtract like that. So I can add more, add. Now the user would say, oh God, I did it a lot. Now I have to 32 times click over here and then go to 0 because I want to. You can use the reset button now to reset it, and that is the thing that we're gonna be creating. So let's get right into it. Okay, so when you open Android Studio for the first time, this would be the welcome screen. So what you have to do is you have to click on create a new project. So now there would be a lot of templates. Select empty activity, then click on next. Name it. I'll name it countingy, and then you can give the domain name of yours if you have any, so that when you will put it on Google Play, it would select this domain. And then you can click on language, and we're going to be using Kotlin. Java is also, but Kotlin is better, like I discussed in the first video of Kotlin. So now click on finish. Over here you can select any, and now we have a table of what should we choose. So Jelly Bean is 99.8. okay, and whatever we will use. Now if we'll use the Android 10, then what will happen is that only 8.2% of users will be able to access my app, because many people have the older versions of Android. So let's click on OK with the Jelly Bean. Okay, and let's go and finish it. Okay, after finishing, this would be something like the interface. Okay, project and all of that. Wait a second. After some time, all these build would run. Now you have the main activity.xm, and I'm going to be pausing the video until everything is happening. Okay guys, so everything is loaded successfully. Now we're going to be understanding this code, whatever this is written in the upcoming videos, but now let's get started. So first of all, let's design our UI. So over here we have this window. Okay, normally if you haven't used the Android Studio, then the interface would be something like that. To change the blueprint, you can click on design by clicking over here. Blueprint also shows you the hidden elements, but we don't want to see them. Okay, we just want the design view. Okay, so now what we will do guys is we'll take this text view out. Text view is basically a fancy name of labels. So what will I do right now is I'll drop in a text view over here. Okay, and now inside over here the text is text view. I'll change that to 0 because initially it would be 0, won't it? And then the ID would be num. Okay, let's write num over here, press enter, and then this would pop up. You have to click on refactor and it would refactor. So guys, I just wanted to tell you something. You would say I have this material theme over here. How did you get that? Guys, like we did it in IntelliJ IDEA, you can just go to preferences and do all that stuff. That is how I did it. Okay, so now 0 is over there. Now we have 0. You'll say it's really small. I know it's really small. Let's just go over here and change this thing to 72. I'll take 72. I'll say 72 SP. I'll press enter. Let's see how big is it, and I think it's perfectly fine. Okay, now we're using constraint layout. basically we would constrain our widget to the edges of our window, and this is how constraint layout works. Okay, so right now let's give it a fancy type of font. So let's take cursive. This is how cursive looks, but I don't want cursive, I want that casual one because that was looking the best, wasn't it? Amazing, guys. Okay, cool. I'm just gonna be changing this to 100 SP because I think 100 SP would be better. A little bigger. Ooh, this is cool. Okay, so now let's constrain, or else it would give us an error. Let's select add, and it would automatically detect the position and add the best constraints. And now let's drop in a button. Now after dropping in the button, we need no text in the button. We need no text. The ID is gonna be plus because we're gonna be increasing the value with this button, so we'll write plus. We'll press enter and we'll refactor. Then what we'll do is we'll click on this icon, and from this we can add a really cool icon. I'm gonna be searching for an add icon. Okay, I got one icon. I'm gonna be using this add. So now we have this add icon. Yeah, I think I'm gonna be going for the previous add icon that we got. Add this one. Okay, cool. So now what will I do is I'll take this button and I'm gonna be making it a little smaller. Okay, now I made it the best size, so I'm gonna be putting it the place where I want it to be, and then I'm gonna be adding the constraints. Okay, let's add the constraints, and now the constraints are added. So let's run it on our virtual device. That means our Android emulator. What did this do is that it detected that we have this emulator on, so we can run it over here. So the first run would be a little timey, so let me just pause the video. Okay guys, right now you're able to see we are not able to see our button inside the emulator. So let's see why is that happening. It's because that this constraint is a little smaller over here. So what will I do is I'll change that constraint to the end of our line. Okay, like that, and then I'll make it a little up like that, and now everything is working. Okay, the reason it wasn't happening is because the text view was the main dependency of that button's constraint. So now let's add this text view would be num. Okay, let's add that text view to be num, sorry for that. And now we're going to be changing this to the text to be 0. Okay, now let's go over here to the text. I changed it to 0, didn't I? I'll say 0. I'll press enter. Okay, cool. Now I'll change this thing to casual, and I'll change this to 100 SP. And now I want it right where I have, so I'll just add the constraints. Okay, now the constraints are added. So now let's run our code to see if everything is working or not. So it's our second time, so I don't think it should take any time. And as you all know, as you're able to see, everything is working. Okay, so as you all know, you have to download the Java SDK, and if there is not, then obviously it wouldn't run. Java SDK is needed for this development. Java SDK is needed. Okay, amazing. So everything is working now. What I'll do is I'll drop a new button over here. Okay, what will this new button have? Let me change its placing. This button will be our subtraction button. Okay, so I'll write minus. Okay, minus, let's write minus, and I'll refactor the ID. Right now we need nothing because we're gonna be adding an icon like we did to our plus button. Okay, so let's press enter over here, and now this is blank. Then what will I do is I'll click on icon, and let's just take this icon, indicator on. Okay, see, it's looking like subtract, a little like subtract. So if you like that backspace button, then you can use that backspace button. Okay, I think it would be somewhere over there. You can search for that backspace button that I took, but I like this one better. It is a little different from that button, so let's use this one. And it's giving me an error, this view is not constrained, so we have to constrain it. So let's just add all the constraints. Okay, constraint and constraint, it's constrained, everything is working now. So guys, the best thing about Android Studio is that we can just drag and drop and everything in the code would be automatically written. So we don't have to learn a lot of XML, we can just drag and drop and create our applications. So amazing guys. Okay, cool. So let's just run this and see how our application is looking. Wait for a second. It would automatically open the emulator. Android emulator. Right now we have the emulator. The build is running, and right now we have the subtract and we have the plus. So right now you're able to see that subtract is really far away from our 0, so it's not looking that sophisticated. So what will I do is I'll change its constraint. Okay, this constraint to a little lesser, so that it's a little near to our text. So I'll press enter. Okay, so our last button should have 30 dp. Okay, amazing. Now also it's a little far away. Okay, I can make it 20. So sometimes I like textual work. Okay, now let's see how close it is. And now it's looking a little sophisticated, so let's rerun it and see how is it looking. This is not it. Yep, this is it, and this is looking really cool. Okay, so now let's just finish creating our UI by adding the reset button. So we can click on a button and we can drag and drop this button like we're already doing. Okay, now what we will do to over here is we'll say the ID. Okay, the ID is gonna be reset, and I'll press enter and I'll refactor, and the button is gonna be reset. Type of cool. Okay, now I'll change its text style or font family to like monospace, I think. Ooh, this is looking really cool. Okay, let's try 30sp as the font size. I don't think so it will. Okay, it's very big. It's really big. It's really big. Okay, I'll try 18sp. 18sp I think would fit. Yup. Let's make it bold. And this is how it would look. Okay. Really, really amazing. Now let's add the constraints. Added, and added. Let's add it over here also. Boom. Amazing, isn't it? Let's rerun this and see how our constraint on the reset button is looking. And is our reset button even looking nice? So it's just running the Gradle build. And right now you're able to see we have plus, minus, reset. Amazing guys. Now creating the UI is done. Now we have to actually take a look at our Kotlin code. So what do we have to do over here is really simple. We'll create a variable and we're gonna be accessing our plus button. So I'll write plus, and then we'll write find a view by ID. Okay, and inside over here I'll write R. This folder, inside this rest folder is R, and we've already sent the content to layout, so we can simply write ID and we can write the name of the ID, and I think we wrote ID plus. So cool, it's working. Now we have to write as button. So what is the main thing of the button? By thing I mean what is the data type of the button, as you can say. Okay, so like this is a text view. What is this ID that we are talking about? That's a button. So we'll write import android.widget.button and we can import that button. Now like this, let's access all the other variables, buttons, and the text view also. Find view by ID, and over here we'll write r.id.minus. We forgot to give the text view ID. Okay, we did. Sorry, I don't remember things. I don't know why. Okay, let's just import the reset one by find view by ID. We'll say dot ID dot reset. Simple as a button. And now we can write over here val num equals find a view by ID and r dot id dot num as text view, and we'll write and import android.widget.text view over here. So this much is done. Now we'll write plus. Okay, plus dot set on click listener. What will this do is it would set a on click listener, and whatever is inside this code would happen after the button plus is clicked. Okay, so we can just say over here a variable time, that is times clicked, the times our buttons are clicked, so we can say 0 for now. So we'll write time is equals to itself plus 1. Okay, and then we can write num dot text equals time dot to string. What will this do? What is this toString doing? Sorry, what is this toString doing right now, and why are we actually converting it to a string? What is happening to my spellings today? Okay, so the main thing is that our XML code does not take integers as the text, so that's why we are converting this time variable to a string, because it's an integer, so that we can actually put it as a number inside our label as a string. So we're converting it basically to a string, like we passed our string as an integer in the previous video of Kotlin. Okay, now let's see if it's working. Okay, we have our Android emulator on. Let's just go to home to see it automatically running. Gradle build is running right now, and boom, application launched. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 whatever, and now this is not working, this is not working, and that's what we're going to be doing now. So let's copy this thing. Okay, let's copy this thing. Now we'll paste this thing over here, and we'll say minus dot set on click listener, and we'll set time minus 1. Simple. And now we'll paste this over here, and we'll write the reset. Time equals 0. Reset it to 0, and boom, everything is working, isn't it? Let's run it and end this video and declare you as official beginner Android developers. Oh, this is our Countingy application. It's working. Okay. Boom! It worked. See, it's working. Okay, we can write 10, and we can say 5, 6. We can reset it. Everything is working as we saw in the preview, and we expected it to do it this way. So guys, I hope you learned something new in this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next chapter of this Android development with Kotlin from scratch series. Bye.